Traditionally, what we've done with the Safaricom calendars is commissioned the agency, and they've gone out and gotten photography based on a brief that we have given them. But this year, we decided to do things slightly differently. As a brand, we believe in collaboration and co-creation, and we wanted to use the calendar as an opportunity to work with Kenyans to tell the Kenyan story. And so what we did was that we identified a few photographers who went out with a fairly broad brief and came back and gave us their story of Kenya.
It was like a daunting task, I was a bit scared initially. The brief was just, people doing stuff in beautiful landscapes. So it was a chance to mix sort of two things that I liked. There's one particular image that I got that was a fisherman casting a net. I had an idea in my head, like I wanted to see someone casting a net. I wasn't too sure how I'll do it. So this guy came in and he was casting the net. At some point it was getting really dark. You couldn't quite tell, whether I was on point or not. At the end of the day I got, a brilliant shot of him casting a net and sort of well lit. And that was one of the hero shots I was very happy about.
The shot for the bike with the flamingos at the background, that was my favorite because the entire village helped us. They gave us the bike, everyone was there, so participating. The kids helped us to make the flamingos fly for the shot to work, and they wanted to be in it.
The beauty about this project was that we were actually going to get on the ground. So none of it was set up.
We got exposed to a lot of different cultures in a space of 6-7 days. And it was quite cool to just see how other people out there within the country live and how they go about their day-to-day lives.
Safaricom represents a lot of the wananchi on the ground, and this idea of having people, real people on the calendar, this wananchi was a fantastic idea. I think it's great that Safaricom is supporting local photographers in a project like Capture Kenya. They actually took a risk and took, people who didn't know through a challenge. What I've taken away from this assignment is that Kenya is a beautiful, beautiful country. People are really sort of very warm from different parts of different places. I hope my images are well taken by the public.
We always see stuff like the Safaricom calendar on every wall, but you never get to see behind the scenes as in how it's actually done. So it's really nice just to give it a human feel, know that it's people who work on it.
Most importantly, the people who are in it, I hope they actually get to see it and sort of take it home, and that they'll have pride that they are part of it, part of the project.
The Safaricom brand is actually owned by all Kenyans, and there is an opportunity for Kenyans to tell their story through the Safaricom brand. It's more authentic, it's more believable when the normal Kenyan photographer tells us how they see Kenya, and that's why we decided to do it differently this year.
I first heard about the project through an email that I received, so I decided to enter. I remember waiting and thought, maybe they've already selected people and they've already started shooting. But finally, got an email saying, been selected. So I was like, this is going to be a fantastic opportunity. I was psyched about it. I've come to specialize mostly in architectural photography and cityscapes. The fact that we have to now include people and then direct them, all that was very virgin territory for me. It was like, it's going to be strange, but a good strange.
I believe every picture has a story, and I believe all the pictures that will be on the book and the calendar will tell a good story.
We shot from tea fields to coffee farms to waterfalls to the desert. One of my favorite places to shoot was in Samburu. The guys, their colors, the landscape.
Samburu people are so beautiful, and we found them in their natural settings, their dressing. It was just beautiful.
I really liked the images from that selection, and I hoped that one of them will make it to the calendar, and I'm glad it did.
All of us were in it to win it. I didn't feel like I'm a producer on this shoot, I should be doing everything. Everyone was jumping in.
So I felt like, it was a team project as opposed to my project. It's important for a big company like Safaricom to be supportive of the local photographers, artists. I'm happy that we are kinda the first ones opening the way, and I hope it happens more. Then others also have a reason to aspire. They'll see, you know what, it's a possibility. These guys got their shots into Safaricom's calendar. Maybe one day that will be us. I'm excited just for the pride, I'm excited to say, have you seen the calendar? Yes, that's my picture in there.
It also helps these photographers to begin to express themselves and their photographic style and their unique lens with which they view Kenya. We were sending out this brief to photographers who were doing photography at the time, but not necessarily for calendars. So of course we were a bit nervous, but actually when the first lot of photos came back, they were amazing and we were on to a good thing.
I had these images of shooting silhouettes on the beach, but when we were actually briefed, the first thing that we were told, no silhouettes. I was very excited, extremely excited, when I heard that I was one of the 5 photographers who had been chosen. I figured this would be an opportunity as well to practice my spontaneous shooting as well. There were no models waiting for us on the ground. It was just identify a spot and pick someone who fits. My best portrait was of a girl called Sauda in the streets of Lamu. She loves football. That's her dream, to play football professionally.
The first time we went on recce, we actually saw her playing football in the streets, and it just looked beautiful from then. And we knew it was going to be a beautiful picture.
And there was a lady who walked by in a bui. At that particular moment, she looked at Sauda doing the flip, so it was perfect. My team was awesome, from the producer to the blogger to the locations director. They just made everything easy.
We really gelled into one big happy family. We all went beyond what we were supposed to do. I was a blogger, I was a prop for the lights and the water, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
And just above and beyond the work that we were sent out to do, we connected as buddies. And I think that's what made the whole journey epic. What Safaricom has done is precedented. Even people who never thought photography was a viable career path, now I think they'll see that it is actually, and you can have fun doing it. And I pray that it just flourishes and becomes bigger.
So we send them out as teams. And so what we have now is not just the photography, but the story behind the photography, which is just as important in many ways as the photography itself.
I'm a photojournalist telling the stories of what has happened. So here you're painting a picture of happy people, daily life, totally different and exciting.
We had a lot of oohs and ahs and seeing a lot of very, very nice landscapes and seeing very different people. We had moments of just stopping on the road and just being like, this is a great shot, I think we should try and make this work.
I had a lot of problems with the natural light. There was a picture we took in Narok of 2 men from the Shamba, and they were in very good light, the background was good, and now we were fighting against time because the sun was going. So when they accepted, it was just a second and the sun was gone.
It gave me an insight into photography generally, because we used to seeing the finished product. You just see a photo and you're like, that's amazing, that's done. The whole idea of chasing light, I was not used to that, that's all I can say. Photography is not as simple as I thought it would be. And I began to get an appreciation of of what goes into getting a great shot.
My team was fantastic. In normal, I work alone, but this time it was easy. Everybody was doing his part. When I was down, they lifted my spirits. If you go outside there, Capture Kenya is in the lips of so many people. Even kids who are hearing about it are excited. This is the beginning to a very good journey that will change the landscape of photography in the country. We are going somewhere.
I think what this calendar has done is taken the everyday Kenyan and made them look absolutely beautiful and absolutely stunning. I mean, some of the photos are simply amazing. These are people in their natural environment, no makeup, no glamour, but they look absolutely beautiful. And those are the things that the Safaricom brand stands for.
First, my family and I did a dance in the living room. We were really happy. And then it hit me that I had this huge responsibility. I was terrified. But at the same time, I was very excited. They wanted us to go and photograph the landscape. Yes, find somewhere amazing, but also find someone doing something, their daily life, and to showcase that in a beautiful way.
For Safaricom to have picked a photographer, a blogger, and a producer to just take this journey together, I think it was a nice way of involving the public generally.
My favorite one, I think, is the lady picking tea in Nandi Hills. Just everything came together. The light worked, the background was amazing, and this woman was so happy with her work, and she just threw the tea leaves in the air, and I saw this moment and I thought, that's it, that's the photograph that I need to get of this woman. As we're walking away, she says, okay, let's close our eyes and pray. In the Nandi Hills, in the middle of tea, this woman starts to pray, and the moment was, for me, I really connected with her, and I think that we did fulfill the brief for this image.
We told our story as we went along, engaging the public in the process of making this calendar. I think that was a great move.
It's not every day that you have your portrait taken. So it was quite special to see that they enjoyed the attention and enjoyed being in the limelight, that they enjoyed interacting with us. I mean, even one guy we photographed is like, oh, you guys are from Safaricom. Tell Mary in customer care, thanks very much, she helped me out. In our family, we keep the Safaricom calendar. There's a particular wall, and that calendar never ever leaves. To think that my image will be in someone's living room, that they will treasure it as much as we treasure the others, it's mind-blowing.
We're definitely going to continue to do this, and we're definitely going to continue with the principles of co-creation and collaboration, because it's when you co-create that you actually get the best of both worlds. So we as a brand and as marketing professionals are able to package what we're given by the public and make something absolutely stunning. So it's definitely something that we're going to continue with.